When you think of the underground, you probably think of artists like Osama Sun, Netsben, Xavier So Based, Yapo JJ, Che, Tana, Laserdom, maybe even Ian. But for the past 2 to 3 years, there's been a single artist that's been killing it, except you just don't see him shoved in your face constantly. That's Glokk40Spazz, who's been locked up for almost 2 years, but despite that, he's still going crazy. So anyways, I want to talk about how he's been doing that and what the future looks like for him, both music-wise and what the odds are of him being freed. Anyways, for those of you who don't know, but I'm gonna assume that all of you guys know, Glokk40Spazz is like a underground street rapper from Atlanta that began gaining notoriety around 2020, 2021, and has been locked up twice since then. Once in 2021, he was then granted bond 2022, and then he got locked up again for another robbery, and he's still in jail. However, what's special about him is, despite being locked up for so long, he's released an insane amount of music. In fact, he's probably more active and consistent than some of these underground rappers who are free right now, and that's a good thing. But before we talk about that, I wanted to talk about his 2 cases. So right now he's fighting 2 armed robbery cases, one from 2021 and one from the end of 2022. I might be getting the second date wrong, to be honest. So number 1, nobody knows when he's gonna be getting out, or if he's even gonna be getting out, because he caught 2 armed robberies. So let me read this one comment. They said, he's probably gonna get time served and probation/house arrest, not gonna lie. Someone else said, bro, he caught 2 armed robbery charges. He's probably gonna get 10 to 15 years minimum. And they've been saying this and arguing about this in his Reddit and on Instagram and on Twitter, everywhere. So I don't even know what's gonna happen, but I'm just gonna use a little common sense. The first robbery he allegedly committed was stealing a vehicle, I believe. And from what I've seen on the internet, which isn't exactly a very trustworthy source, there isn't any evidence. But hey, maybe that's true. Maybe that gets dropped. He still has another armed robbery. And by the way, if you guys aren't caught up to the lore, this is why he's in jail for that robbery. He posted on his Instagram story that he was doing like a meet and greet, or I don't know what he was doing. Anyways, he met up with 2 fans and apparently they were supposed to like smoke together. Anyways, he meets up with them. They pull up in a car or something. Mind you, in the police report, they said that one of these guys had like a Pokemon backpack. They were like fans. He robs them, all right? What? No way. He robbed us, bro. I don't know, bro. You listen to his music. I'm not gonna lie. Robbing your own fans after agreeing to meet up with them is crazy. And he did it in like a public place. Anyways, so he robbed them. They snitched on him. They're just regular civilians. What'd you expect? He got booked. And so far, apparently they've been cooperating like crazy. So he's probably cooked on that second armed robbery / aggravated assault or whatever charge he got. But hey, maybe these people on Reddit know something that I just don't. Or maybe he just gets very lucky. Who knows? He was also caught with contraband, but apparently his lawyer said that it didn't affect his case at all. Another Atlanta rapper, Ken, I believe he was an internet money artist, but he was pretty hard. He also had a song with Sofago. He was sentenced to 15 years about a year ago, and it was also for an armed robbery. He's also from Georgia, but apparently he only has to serve 2 years of that 15, but I don't know. But anyways, despite all that gloomy news, the Glokk40Spazz fan community is super active. And I would say this is because around, I think 2023, a lot of his songs started going kind of viral on TikTok. And, you know, I feel like rap fans in general have like a fetish for rappers when they get locked up. Like one of the best things that can happen to you is either die, but I mean, then you die and you don't really get to see the fruits of your labor, or go to jail, or I guess get shot. But for some reason, getting shot a bunch of times doesn't do the same thing. Like Lil TJ, he got shot like 10 times, but I don't know why, it just doesn't have the same effect. I'm not even trying to be like insensitive. I'm just saying how it is. But going to jail just creates so much hype around your name as a rapper. It's insane. And that's exactly what it's done for Glokk40Spazz. I remember like I met these kids at a park once. We were like playing basketball and I followed them on Instagram after. By the way, I think they were in like middle school, or yeah, they seemed like 8th graders or 7th graders or something. And they all had like Glokk40Spazz profile pictures. I was like, what? Anyways, if you just look at his community on Reddit, you can kind of see that. Someone said, on God, I just got 3 days in school suspension for rocking out to this. And I'm not gonna lie, this thread is kind of funny. There were a bunch of people just like commenting lyrics, but there was this one argument that was hella funny. They said, you're dumb. And this guy said, I still have more hoes and motion than you. Hop off Reddit when you have no money IRL. Like, calm down, buddy. He said, how you a child in school with motion? Gotta sit in ISS like a motionless little boy. High school goes faster than you think. People like you are nobodies as soon as it's over. All right, so that sounds like he has a little trauma, or I don't know. He said, yap, yap, yap. You laughing but can't take it when you go, so what's the real flex? This kid said, your mother gives BJs for a living. All right, I think we're gonna close the tab right there. Another person said, bruh secretly free, ain't no way this man got so many music videos. All right, if you go through Glokk40Spaz's YouTube, this guy is still releasing music videos, like almost 2 years into being locked up. He just, like in the past 6 months, released 2 new music videos. One for his song Zans and F***s Up. I'm not gonna lie, both the songs are really up to par in terms of quality. Normally when a rapper is in jail for as long as he's been in jail for, they start, you know, dropping some like, they just drop everything they have. I'll give you an example, and this isn't an underground rapper, but you know, point still stands. K-Flock got indicted on like a murder charge at a RICO. Anyways, he's probably gonna get like 30 years or some shit. But in the meantime, I'm pretty sure he's signed to Capital. They decided to just release everything they had. He had one song that was a little lit on TikTok. They dropped that, and then they just dropped like a little tape with all his music, and that was probably all he had. I think he has a couple more, you know, some drill songs of samples, you know how that goes. But in terms of getting music from him as a fan and music videos, it's over. And that's normally how it is, you know, not much people usually got left in the vault. For this guy, it seems like there's just an unlimited, there's just like a hard drive with like a million songs or some and music videos. It's almost like he planned for this to happen. It's almost like he knew there was gonna be like, he was gonna be locked up for like the next 2-3 years. It's crazy. Another thing that him and his team have done really well is they put out a tape with Osama-san. So Osama-san and Glokk40Spazz dropped a collab tape. I believe his manager is Ben Baker, I don't know, or Bakar or something. But yeah, shout out to them, because that was a really smart move. And I'm not gonna lie, this tape performed really well if you look at like SoundCloud, YouTube, and Spotify, without even having like an insane amount of promotion. I don't think I've seen Osama-san perform any of these songs. There's like no music videos. It's really just getting streamed by like core fans and Osama-san fans. And overall, this was just a great move for Glokk40Spazz to continue to stay relevant. And Osama-san, I guess, gets like street cred, which after like the whole TikTok leak, I guess he could use some of that. But anyways, the way he's been releasing music has been great. Another thing as well is he's not really big, of course, but he's also not very small in terms of his size as an artist. Like, if you look at his Spotify, he's got a song with 11 million, he's got a song with 10 million, he's got songs with like 7 million, you know, he's got millions and millions of streams. Granted, he signed to Columbia, but he's doing pretty well. You know, if you look at an artist like Netspend, he has 480,000 monthly listeners. Glokk has 600K. Osama-san has 600K. For context, artists like Summers have 1.2 mil and Autumn has 1.1 mil. Of course, Glokk40Spazz has been around for a little longer than Osama-san and Netspend, but he's still hanging with a lot of these underground artists despite not being released for so long. And the reason for that is because his discography is deep as hell. Like, you just look at his albums, he has like 10. And a couple of those, of course, are compilation albums. He dropped a lot of singles, but still, it's quite a bit of music. So that's the best thing he's doing. He's feeding his fans. He's also dropping an album called The Real Oso Part 1. And in the trailer, there's like a Filthy beat. So it sounds like Glokk40Spazz x Filthy coming to life. Speaking of Glokk40Spazz x Filthy, another very interesting and I guess you could say cool part of his lore is that he he kind of got like an opium cosign and just did not care about it whatsoever. So if you guys remember, a while back, Glokk40Spazz said, or not Glokk40Spazz, Opium Baby said, oh Glokk40 or oh Spazz or something. And I was like, oh my god, everyone was like, oh my god, Glokk40Spazz is joining Opium. And then Glokk40Spazz went out and dissed them. And then if you go back, you could see that Glokk40Spazz was calling Cardi gay, all this crazy shit before that. And it was just like, damn, yo, why does he hate these guys so much? So after a little bit of waiting, number one, I think he just really didn't like them. Probably just thought Cardi was gay. It's like a street dude from Atlanta, so that kind of makes sense. Another reason though is, and this is kind of random, D Savage was Glokk40Spazz's biggest inspiration. Like, he's the reason Glokk40Spazz started rapping. And you know who has beef with Cardi for like 7 years at this point and is called Cardi gay multiple times? D Savage. So that actually makes a lot of sense on why Glokk40Spazz didn't with opium. Now, whether or not it would have actually happened, apparently there was like a lot of speculation, but if Opium Baby, who is like the founder or co-founder of Opium, was tweeting about it, it was definitely in the talks at one point, and maybe they were even willing to overlook that, but I doubt it. But can't act like it wasn't a thing at one point. He was literally tweeting about signing Glokk40Spazz. Anyways, Glokk40Spazz also went on his Instagram story and said exposing Opium Baby and this and that, and he never went on Instagram Live and exposed Opium Baby. But while D Savage and Homicide Gang were beefing, he said that Opium Baby was a snitch, that they ran out of LA, and that could be what Glokk40Spazz is alluding to, but who knows. Anyways, yeah, he could have been an Opium, and he literally did not want it, which I'm not gonna lie is kind of hard. That's kind of fire. Like, yo. Anyways, he's got all the regular like band stuff. My boyfriend asked me to homecoming last year, and it was like a Glokk40Spazz homecoming poster. Take a risk at Hoko with me. Get it? Take a risk. It also says Glokk40Spazz with me. Should have slapped that shit out of his hand and made him run away crying. He said yes. Someone ain't got no bitches. I'm gay. Someone ain't got no guys. All right. By the way, sorry for the horrible female impression. It also has the classic fan troll posts. Like, look at this. Anyone else in here started banging because of Glokk40Spazz? Yeah, this man right here inspired me to people. Okay, I think I have to censor one of those words, but you get what I mean. This guy's got to be a 14 or a grown man who doesn't pay child support. I started banging every Tuesday for Glokk on some part-time shit. What? Bro don't have any ops any other day of the week except Tuesday. Bro's a Tuesday warrior. Ever since I started listening, I've replaced church with a weekly drill. Of course, this isn't funny. Another thing that a lot of like TikTok people have been doing is they've been saying Laserdom is supposed to be like carrying out Glokk40Spaz's legacy. Someone said TikTok needed to be banned. Y'all see two guys from the hood and want to compare them. It'd be white kids named Tanner and Hunter that live in the suburbs of New Hampshire that want to glorify the streets. It'd be killing me. So yeah, clearly Glokk40Spazz has plenty of music videos in the vault. By the way, the music videos in the vault are like the best thing, and I'm gonna explain it this way. Most fans are not like super fans. I feel like for underground rappers, for them, it's very important to be very active because most of their fans are children or like just young adults. And because of that, they're more like, I would say their like core fan to fan ratio is a lot higher than like, your average rap caviar listener. But for the most part, for most artists, all a fan will really do is put your music on their playlist, listen to you, support you, and just that's it. Maybe like watch some music videos. And that's what Glokk40Spazz has been doing. Keep in mind, as long as you put out good music and they see you in front of their faces somewhat, right? And he checks those boxes as well. So that's why to me, he'll be totally fine because he's been doing completely all right without being free, because for the most part, he hasn't really been, nerfed being from jail. If anything, like I explained earlier in the video, it's helped him. Of course, you can't do this forever. At some point, he's gonna run out of music. He probably will run out of music videos soon, and then I'll be like, damn. But it seems like they're just gonna announce another project. He has a very strong core fan base. As long as he gets like 1-2 songs popping next year, he's still good. Now, of course, the elephant in the room is he going to be sentenced to a long ass sentence, or is he going to be free? So number one, if he gets freed, that would be like the best case scenario. Of course, I'm not going to say unlikely because I don't know about how the legal system in Georgia works. I'm just going to say it's up to God. But if that happens, that would probably be the best thing for his career. He's also signed to Columbia, remember? So if he got out and recorded an album and had some singles, that would do well. And by the way, I feel like because he's a street rapper and because he was already pretty ahead and he was like he was like a street rapper on Plug and B beats, you gotta understand. So kind of revolutionary and it sounded good. So if he just comes out with the same or similar or just a little new sound, drops some singles, those singles are 100% blowing up, gets Columbia to help push this album, he could definitely go on a little run. If not, and he stays locked up, he'll probably just stagnate around this 500,000 mark on Spotify. Who knows? But yeah, other than that, just a very interesting and, as the title states, bizarre career. Anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about Glokk40Spaz's career. But yeah, let me know. Bye. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.